so long you have to make it on. How it is that? Why did you start it? Want to? Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kangsha Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnang Bande Jagadgurum. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demon, Kamsa and Chanura, the dear darling of the mother Devaki, and the teacher of the entire universe. I salute him again and again. Om, peace, peace, peace. So we are back to the reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we are in the chapter number 8. And here we are talking about the Manus who rules the entire universe in period of time, like our presidents. Their 4-year tenure, so their tenure is millions of years. One soul, very powerful soul, who did tremendous austerity and this, they, by the power of their austerity and other things, they get to rule over, they become the kings of the entire period of thousands and thousands of years. So, and that Manu avatar, and in that one, that kalpa means that began with the Swayambhu, one of the name of the avatar. Avatar means incarnation, whose name is Manu. So in order to strengthen the cause of righteousness in life and divine knowledge, the Lord incarnated himself with as a result of yogna. So now he said, he is the supreme consciousness by virtue of whom there is consciousness in the world, but whom the world does not know and cannot make conscious, as is Swayam Prakasu. That the light which lights everything, but no other light can bring the brilliance on him. He is the eternal source of all light and all consciousness. He who is awake, even when all the world is asleep, him the world does not know, but he knows the world. So what is this ultimate truth he is talking about? That he is who is awake even when we are all sleeping. When we sleep, but still because he is eternal consciousness, it has no time that it does not or not aware of this waking experience. That means he sees everything all the time, 24 hours. Whether I sleep, whether I eat, whether I work, no? 3 periods of Jagrat, Sapna, Susupti, and the 3 periods of time, that reality remains the same. All things of this world are moving and unmoving objects, are pervaded by that Lord. Everything in the world, therefore, belongs to him. So offering everything to him, enjoy what is left with you by him. So it's like the Isha Upanishad, we read that. So enjoy the world by renunciation. That means give up which is momentary, temporary, and enjoy what is permanent, eternal. He, the universal subject, who sees everything, but whom none can see. He is the eternal witness and consciousness. He sees everything, but none can see. I cannot see Brahman. I cannot see that consciousness with these physical eyes. No one can see. He whose consciousness is ever unfailing, even when the individual modes of consciousness arising in it subside. So our consciousness arises and subside in the cosmic consciousness. We are aware, we are not aware. But that awareness upon which it happens, it does not get modification. In him, the support of all, the unaffected being, who is described described as the bird of beautiful plumage of Veda, we seek shelter. So we take shelter in that reality which does not subside, that reality is all the time there, and is the support of all, is unaffected being, that is a Vedas have described, and we take shelter. He for whom there is no beginning, middle or end, neither anything to be reckoned as one's own, nor as alien. That means he's talking about the absolute Vedantic truth. The he whom there is no beginning, that absolute truth has no beginning. Middle, there is no middle. If you middle, then you can have beginning and end. But no beginning, no middle, no end. Neither anything to be reckoned as its own. It's mine, it is yours. This division is gone. Neither the inside or outside. In that oneness, how can it be inside and outside? In duality only inside and outside. But in that absolute reality, there is no in, there is no out. These are all descriptions of Satchidananda self, which cannot be, and whose luminosity illuminates everything, but he cannot be seen through any sense perception. So, to be reckoned as one's own, or as an alien, neither as inside nor as outside, but who nonetheless is the source from which the universe has derived all these features, and who stands forth as the universe, that Paramatman, that is the truth, the all-inclusive being. So he is the all-inclusive being, he permeates everything. There is no in and out, there is no higher and lower, there is no beginning, there is no end. The all negation, not. He, the Lord of all, is the inner pervader. He pervades everything in the inner, having the whole universe as his body. This universe is the body of that reality. He is the possessor of the infinite names, all the names. It is only his name. He is manifesting in so many ways. The truth, the self-revealing consciousness, he is the eternal truth. He is the self-revealing consciousness. That means to be conscious of something, if we move in the darkness, we need some flashlight. That light illumines the darkness. Then you can see what is there. But he is self-luminous. We don't need any light to see what is that eternal self. The being without birth and death, but ever existing. By his inherent power of Maya, he originates, he protects and dissolves countless world systems. This we live in this earth planet, this is our world, so big, countless. Actually now, modern astronomy will say, how many endless number of galaxies and planets and galaxies are there, who will count them? But he, by his inherent power, how he does? This one absolute, by his own inherent power of Maya Shakti, he originates, he means what? The Ishvara, God, whose absolute nature is one and without a second. He creates, generates, protects, dissolves. He creates the world, naturally he protects and also he destroys. So it is all play of that God. That's called Leela, God's Leela. World systems. But at the same time, by his power of knowledge, he transcends Maya and remains unchanged and unaffected. He does not get affected. He creates, it is his power. Magician has a power within. He shows that power and everyone gets overwhelmed. But he does not. He knows he is playing a trick. The magician knows that they cannot catch my trick. I am playing a trick. That by that trick he is not affected. But we are affected, we as a witness, we are affected by that. So, these rishis, for attaining to that bliss of worklessness, that means the state of akarma. The rishis, to attain that state of where there is no work, no action, at first do work as an offering to Ishvara. So the rishis, what they did in the past, to attain to that state of consciousness, which is called akarma, there is no karma. Karma is in action. Action is in duality. When there is in that absolute non-dual situation, to reach that point, they started through karma. Here comes the importance of our karma yoga. We cannot be a yogi just sitting for meditation. It is a mental trick. Mind plays trick with us. Therefore it should be purified by karma. That's why in Vedic time, say the rishis used to do karma. What karma? Their karma is different. That's called jagna karma. They used to have havanam. Even in, you go to South India, you'll find that so many types of big havan. And a temple means havan. No? Jagna. Every temple you go. Balaji, here is that Malibu temple you go. They have made a special place for Jagna. And that's a very good, best ritual in the early tradition. Modern tradition is that you do selfless work, service to others, do anything for God. That is the easier way of karma now. But earlier this karma kanda, mantra, Brahman, karma kanda, mantra is just chanting. That's why they used to memorize these mantras. And mantra, then Brahman and mantra, the application how the mantra is to be, understand the meaning of mantra, and then apply in the sacrificial fire, all these jagnas, no? And then that karma purifying the mind, then that mind will be ready for going to the higher plane. See, that's why Gita also says, na karmanam anarammat nishkarmam purushasnute. Without starting or beginning any work, selfless work, selfish world is the world of ignorance. Unselfishness is divine. So you practice unselfish work, and whatever you are doing for God, this is the modern age. And they used to perform all these jagnas and having some result for the beginning. And then said, what is that? Any result I get, it has an end. So they wanted to get out of that effect of karma. And they wanted to, that's a peaceful state, to attain to that platform of spiritual calmness and serenity. So that is the goal. That is, there is no karma, only absorbed in its own divine self. No? So they, at the first, do work as an offering to Ishvara. So whatever you do, we call it Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. We are offering to Ramakrishna. It said that we are offering to Avatar, God. We are talking about Manu avatars. We are talking about the avatars. Modern avatar is Ramakrishna. We say Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Those who are Rama devotees, they will Rama Arpanamastu. Krishna Arpanamastu. The point is that you are offering everything, every action. That day, in the evening prayer time, in the home of fire, what we did at the end, remember, every time we do. All the activities I have done, ita purvang, prano, buddhi, deho, dharma, adhikarato, with whatever I have done by my pranic forces, prano, buddhi, by my intellectual understanding, deho, dharma, hunger, thirst, this, that, whatever I have done, jagrot, in the waking state, or in the dream state, or in the sleep state, jagrot, swapno, susupti, avasthasu, in those states, yat kritam, whatever I have done, action done in waking state, even in dream state, or even sleep time, that's also work, because you are separated from God. So, these three states, whatever you have done, jat kritam, jaduktam, jat smritam, whatever you have thought as memory, whatever the past memory you thought about, jat uktam, whatever you have said, jat kritam, jad uktam, kritam, whatever you have done, hastam bhang, you did work by your hand, by your feet, hastam bhang, padbham, mudareno, sisna, all these systems of your body, whatever you have done, say, oh, hastam padbham, mudareno, sisna, tat sarvam Rama Krishna arpanamastu. That everything is offered to God. So this is the practice. The rishis did that practice. Say, how long? As long they are capable of doing the work. Karvan nevehu karmani jije vishet satagam sama. If you live for 100 years, Vishopanishad says, continue to this service. 100 years. Till your mind becomes pure. Till your mind really runs for God and God alone. Don't indulge into laziness and don't indulge into worthless work. Do work offering to God. Do work offering to God. Whatever you have to do. You are breathing, you can offer it to God. You are sleeping, you can offer it to God. You are eating, you can offer it to God. So, you are cooking, you can offer it to God. You are driving, you can offer it to God. So, offer anything you do, offering to God, what happens? Makes the mind clean, and then pure mind will show that it is only divine. So, to go to that state, you have to continue to work. So that's it. He says, at first do work as an offering to Ishvara. Through such dedicated action, man gradually attains to transcendence of the work. Work will drop. Ramakrishna was a pujari, no? In the temple, garden of Dakshineshwar. And he was paid 7 rupees a month. That was his salary. In 7 rupees or something, people could maintain their $7, you can say, in those days. But he was working, get that salary. That's the karma, puja karma. And he started karma, and then what happened? So puja karma, but he was doing and crying and weeping, so that showing us that you do the karma, and that karma will not fail you. Karma will take you to some purified state. So when he started doing puja, then worship karma transcended. He was doing, we are doing puja for 1 hour, 2 hours that the other day, doing this, doing that, rooting head, all these details. But Ramakrishna, when doing that, put the flower on the head, boom. Gone for some long time. Like that, absorption becoming more and more, and action stock becoming less and less. And then what happened? At the end, even any work, any little offering one flower, boom. So much absorption becoming inner more and more, because there is gradual progress of purification. It's showing, demonstration. Ramakrishna's life is a demonstration for us to understand they are all sadhana. How we have to do sadhana and how automatically it leaves you. You are not to leave karma. When you leave the karma, it is you are doing a mistake. But when karma leaves you, that's a freedom. They give the example. You have some abscess or something. You want to, one scale, one layer of is just growing, it looks ugly. You want to tear up. If you tear up, then it will bleed. But when it ripens into that and blends into your body, then you rub, it will be clean. So this is the point. Work will automatically drop off if one does the work in proper spirit. So to such dedicated action, man gradually attains to transcendence of work. So we have to transcend the work. 14th verse, very important. Let me see what the Upanishad, original verses. Atho agre, and now, because therefore, in the beginning, Rishaya, the sages, karmani iho ante karma hetave. Karmani hante iho. In this world, doing the karma of that type of sacrificial karma, iho mano hi purusho prayonihang prapaddate. Oh, I'm saying, I'm reading which verse number. Almost 14 verse. Yes. Bhagavan Isho nahi tatro visajjate. So the rishis, for attaining to that bliss of worklessness, at first did the work as an offering to Ishvara. Through such dedication and dedicated action, man gradually attains to the transcendence of the work. Though the Supreme Lord is working always, he is not bound by it, because he is ever satisfied with his inherent bliss. Even after realizing that bliss, you can do work, but that work does not bind. Not knowing that what we work, it binds us. Karma without knowledge binds us. But karma with knowledge or after knowledge makes the life joyful. Sri Ramakrishna, after realization, he was totally absorbed in himself. But he didn't stop there. He used to run to spread the message of truth, from running to Calcutta, to different homes, different places of worship, and inspiring them to come out of the bondage of life. So he is also action, but those actions are not binding. Because he has attained to that freedom, from that after reaching the supreme knowledge, when one comes down. Vivekananda, he worked. How much he worked in this country. But he worked, he was not bound by karma. Ordinary people will be bound by karma, because when ego will come, I did so much. My name, my fame, my power. Where is my gratitude? And so many people write me about in their magazines, no? All this ego will automatically come, but it will not touch him. Vivekananda was worshipped in this country. All the Indian, American newspaper you go, most of them appreciated him to the highest degree. But he was not affected by that. So that's why it is after your purification action, when it is purified, then it does not bind. He has no want to be satisfied through work. And also, we work for what reason? To get something, some benefit out of work, no? You do this work, you get this benefit. But they work not for any purpose. Like it's children's play. They do for the good of the world, that's all. That is their purpose. They don't want anything in return, but they are happy to do good to the world. Christ suffered so much, or what his whole life dedicated to the cause of the human, removing the human suffering, their and their difficulties, their problems, no? Buddha gave up everything, renounced everything, attained illumination for the good of what? For the good of the world. They have no personal agenda. He was a king himself. What he wants to attain in the material world more than a king can enjoy. But that is enough. But he made, after realization, made it for the good of everyone, for the whole universe. So that is the purpose. They have no motivation, as we do work with motivation. I say, if you don't get a success, then your motivation goes away, no? Normal what happens? You are performing, you are doing a research, and your motivation will go away if you fail again and again, or there is obstacle again and again and again, no? So you cannot, oh my God, why am I doing this? Frustration. But if that failure comes, but these knowers of truth, they will not be affected by it, because they know it is only doing for work's sake. No other goal. If the goal comes, happy. If it does not, happy. But they are sincere and tried their best by teaching us that you can do karma, reach a state of akarma. When karma means our expectation, and karma means our fulfillment of our desire. That's why we do work. We cook. Why? Because we are hungry. To fulfill my tummy, I do cook. But if my tummy is full, I don't need anything. Why to cook? So similarly, if I have no want, so why shall I work? But the Jnanis, the knowers of truth, they work. But they are not affected by its good or bad. That's why they are free soul. But we are bound. Desire prompting us to do something, and it binds us depending on the result, what we get or not. Those who follow the example of the Lord will also not fall into bondage. So God Himself, the Supreme Lord, is working always. He is not bound by it, because He is ever satisfied with inherent bliss. He has no want to be satisfied through work. Those who follow, so what we have to do, God, when He comes down, He behaves like that. Therefore, you and me, what to do? We should have to follow their path. So you do work day and night for God, not for any other purpose. And if you can do that, following the path of the avatars, here is the important point. Avatars is all avatars. They come and work hard work. Krishna, how much work he did. If you read the whole life of Krishna, from the childhood, always destroying the demons and this and that, and Kangsha and other bad elements of the society. Kings were bad rulers of the country. So how many people she gave shelter, this, that. Relentless work. But it is for the good of others. For his own pleasure, he never looked at. Vivekananda did so much work. In 39 years, 6 months, he passed away. But for what? Gain for himself. He never looked back. Now the letters of Vivekananda has come out in detail. There we see how Swamiji is to physically suffering. He has his diabetic tendency, diabetes itself, food and other problems, serious problems. So weak, he cannot do anything. But he didn't give up the work, running like a bullet here and there, wherever he needed, and preaching and preaching. He said, no, I shall inspire men until the world shall know that it is one with God. I shall inspire men. I shall be, it may be that I shall be like an old worn out garment. I shall give up this body, no? I shall give up this body like an old worn out garment. But I shall not cease to work. I shall, till every whole world knows that I am one with God. That means unless we get freedom, he has no freedom. Why he is taking our responsibility? I shall inspire everyone, men and women of everywhere. He does not say it is India, it is America, it is this. The humanity, to inspire them from inside. You are divine, you are divine. That's the mission. And he is doing that even when I will be out of my body. It may be I shall cast this off, this body, like an old low-down garment. This garment, when it becomes old, we throw away. So he's saying this body which I am taking, it will be old by working, I'll throw away, but I shall not cease. I will be there. In a subtle way, inspire everywhere. So that's why you see how people are attracted to the Vedantic philosophy. Those who are first hearing sometime, it is a transformation in their life. In this country and in every country. Because this singing the song of the glory of, song of the soul. It is inner soul talking about that. So if the avatars, God himself incarnated, can do like that, we should have to follow their path. It is called, Gita also suggests, Jad jad acharati sreshta. Those which is followed by the daily behavior of great souls, sreshta. Tattadeva itarojana. We ordinary masses, we want to follow their footsteps. It is in nature's law. Most ordinary people follow the direction and dictate of a powerful person. And who are spiritually powerful, what the direction they give, that inspires them. People should follow. Blessed are the peacemaker. So what will be the goal of us? To make peace. What is the purpose of life? God realization. Blessed are the pure in heart. They will see God, no? To see God, I want to see God. What shall I do? Follow the path, what the Christ is saying. The same message, Buddha saying, some detach. Same thing. Ramakrishna said, Vairagya, Vivek, Vairagya. Kama kanchan. So, and work for that. I take refuge in the Lord who performs works according to the purpose of nature of his incarnation. Every incarnation comes, one God comes down, again and again. It is the Hindu faith. Even he comes in the form of a fish, tortoise, evolution. As a human evolution, we are unique. If you want to say, it has come from lower level to the other. But to suit it to the nature, tortoise become the powerful to teach whatever lesson. A tortoise God, avatar. Similarly, then tend to human God, like that. So, suited to the condition. Ramakrishna came in this age, suited to the condition of the present time. Human, Krishna also came, and Rama also came. But this time, he came as Ramakrishna. What you find? Krishna gave the detachment, but you live in the world. Ramakrishna talking about renunciation. Free yourself, all the entanglements. Enjoy your freedom, no? By becoming pure and pure. So each time avatar comes, suited to the nature of the context of the time they come, and help humanity. And we, ordinary people, should follow their footsteps. His incarnation. And this incarnation who is all-knowing, who has no particularized ego sense, who is self-satisfied and free from all desires, who has mastery over all, who is not under the command or prompting of any other agency, who is the teacher and pathfinder for all, and who is the source of all dharma. So, avatar comes and sets all these rules in a particular age, and these people of that age follow that path, should follow that path to get the liberation. Now Sukadev said. Sukadev, we go back to the story. Sukadev is the saint, 4 Rishi Kumars, Suko, Sanandan, Sanat Kumar, Sanatana. They are eternally free. These are eternally free souls roaming around in the world for the good of humanity. So that Sukha was giving this message of Krishna. Sukadev said, while he was in this way, uttering these sacred mantras with a concentrated mind, hungry asuras and rakshasas saw him and came running to eat him up. Seeing them so resolved, the all-pervading Hari, embodied as Jagna and accompanied by his sons, the celestial known as Jamas, destroyed those demonical beings and protected the heaven. So he says that this Manu, the mantras was, while he was in this way, uttering these mantras, sacred mantras, and following the verses, he says that with a concentrated mind, these Asuras and Rakshasas wanted to get this, which is going to the gods' share. The Asuras and Rakshasas, they want to devour it. And to destroy them, what happens? Seeing them so resolved, the Lord God, Hari, embodied as Jagna. That's the Jagna fire. That's why we said that time, you remember. We are offering 11 times, thinking the fire as Ramakrishna. So God as fire consumed those Rakshasas and protected the heavens. Now, the second, this is the first Manu they are talked about, Avataro. The second Manu was another Sarochisha. He is the son of Agni. The son of that Manu, these are different names. And then second Manu's name was Sarochisha. Third Manu's name was Tamasa. Acha, Tamasa. So now these are very difficult areas. I am not very conversant to read the avatars and old Manu avataro, this avataro, and their descriptions. And all these names, you will also not be very enjoy all this. Now, Trikuta mountain, acha. So Sukha said, O king, there was a famous mountain called Trikuta, 10,000 yojanas in height. Yojana means how? Yojana means yojana means mile has a measurement, how many miles make a yojana. So mountain was a big mountain. There is a mountain, in between stories come. So the King Parikshit, Sukadev is saying, there is a 5 to 8 miles, 1 yojana. So 10,000 yojanas means how much? 10,000 times
50 to 80,000 miles.
60,000 miles, naki?
60,000,
60,000 mile long, vishal, huge mountain, full of precious things. It is full of precious things and girt by an ocean of milk. The 10,000 yojanas wide, it had 3 peaks of silver. So it's a beautiful mountain then. Peaks are of silver, steel, gold, having in them such profusion of metals that they illumine the ocean and the quarters with their glitter. So it is surrounded by a milk ocean. It stood on an ornament to all quarters. So that mountain was so glorious, so rich in mineral and other things, you can say, the precious gold and steel and what you call silver, etc. It stood as an ornament to all the quarters with its precious stones and metals, with its abundance of various types of trees and creepers, and its waterfalls spreading their sound on all sides. Washed by the waves of the milk ocean, its base was rendered green by the multitude of emeralds and other stones of greenish hue. That which is a beautiful, rich, highly, highly precious place covered with gems and your metals and gold and all these things. It had many caves and that were used for their sports by various species of beings like Siddhas, Charanas, Chandravas, Vidyadharas, great serpents, Kinnaras, Apsaras and others. That means who is to live there? There are many beautiful caves where different species of and beings used to live. There's what is called the Charanas, Siddhas. Siddhas means who are perfected beings. They had their home. Gandharvas. Gandharvas are those are musician artists. They used to have their another area like that. The echo of the music of their kinnaras coming from the caves, they are often provoked the proud lions to roar under the mistaken impression of the presence of their lions, other lions in their neighborhood. So when they used to sing some music, it was so loud and so powerful that even the lions used to think, oh, there is some other lion. Anyhow, so it was made attractive by its numerous valleys full of wild animals of various species and by woodlands abounding in trees that were the resort of numerous warbling birds. So there are birds, beautiful, describing a beautiful place with trees, plants and all costly things, costly caves and gold and this and that and highest celestial beings are living. Some maybe musicians group, some are artist group, some are other higher entities of the human being. That region had many rivers and lakes of pellucid water, bordered by sand dunes with pearl-like sand. The water and the atmosphere there were charged with a fragrance from the bodies of the celestial damsels who had their ablution in the lakes. Now, in one of the valleys of that mountain was a garden belonging to the high-souled and worshipful Varuna named Rituman. So in that mountain, one place, there is a garden which belonged to a very highly worshipful person. His name is Varuna. Varuna means Varuna named Rituman, worshipful Varuna, whose name is Rituman. Rituman is the name of the person who was a field of sports for celestial women. That garden was full of heavenly trees, having an abundance of flowers and fruits. The mountains round about it abounded in trees like Mandaro, Parijato. These are the name of the trees. Mountain around, abundant of trees. And what type of trees? It's called Mandaro trees, Parijato trees, Patalo trees, Asoka, Champaka, Mango, Piala, jackfruit, Amra, hog plum, Baba, so many.
Mandara Pushpa is the favorite of Shiva.
Oh.
Mandara Pushpa, Pushpa,
Yeah, Baba, listen how many There are abounded by the trees. How many varieties of trees? One. Count how much. Mandara, Parijato, Patala, Patola, Ashoka, Champaka, Mango, Priyala, Jackfruit, Amra, Hog plum, Arknut, Coconut, Date plum, Bija Puraka, Madhuka, Shalo, Palmayar, Babre Bap, Tamala, Rasana, Arjuna. Oh my God, it continues. So many, etc., etc. Another 15, 20 names are there. Now, many other trees. In their midst was an extensive lake with golden lotuses. Now, so many trees, and in the middle there is a lake, and the lake is blooming there, not ordinary lotus, but golden lotus, Baba, gold. The lake in the region was beautiful, beautified by the wealth of aquatic flowers like Kumuda flowers, Utpala flowers, and so many. And the atmosphere was filled with the buzzing of the inebriated honeybees and the sweet sound of the birds. That was a beautiful heavenly place, as it were. The lake was also full of water birds, the hamsas, karandakas, chakravakas, sarasas, while the grooming of Jalakarkutusa, Baba. Anyhow, there are many birds and many other animals. They are beautiful. You can imagine a heavenly garden. The golden lotuses blooming, and this all different lilies and everything. So beautiful. Second, by the movement of fish. There are fish, turtles, other aquatic creatures. The blooming lotus flowers shed their pollen into the waters of the lake, giving it an agreeable fragrance. Its banks were lined with trees like Kadamba, Betasa, Nala, Nipa, etc. Its bank were thick with trees and creepers, and bore flowers and fruits during all seasons. Trees and creepers like Kunda, etc. So many trees, etc. Anyhow, so a description of a place, mountain. And there is a mountain, and it's encircled by a lake. It is made of all these beautiful things there. Now, once a lordly elephant, the leader of his herd, arrived on the bank of this lake with his cows ranging through the forest, and in the course of it breaking into bits and branches of thorny trees and bushes of bamboos, as also groves of creepers clustering over canes and other kinds of reeds. That means one lordly elephant came with his team of other cows. The very smell of his was sufficient to frighten and put to flight all kinds of wild beasts, lions, tuskers, tigers, rhinoceros, serpents, white-faced and black-faced monkeys, etc., chamari deer, etc. So all seeing that, everyone runs away. This is such a powerful. While other animals like wolves, wild boar, bison, bears, and etc. ran away in fear of him. There was a smaller and less conspicuous creatures fearlessly moving about as he took no notice of them. So powerful, all this lion, etc., they run away out of fear. And they are very small creatures. The elephant does not take, so tiny. So they didn't care, so they were saved. Scorched by the heat of the sun, that lordly elephant, surrounded by other bulls and cows, and followed by cubs, moved forward, shaking the earth by his weight. It was as if he is walking, the whole earth is trembling as it were. He was persuaded by the swarms of black bees, inebriated by the feeding of the ichor flowing from him, and he was himself in a mood of inebriation that was reflected in his rolling eyes. So the elephant was really in a majestic role and is very powerful. He was walking, and so the earth is shaking like that. Drawn by the fragrance of the lotus pollens spreading through the air, the thirsty Pachadarms, I don't know, with the leader approached the lake quickly. The lordly elephant submerged himself in the water to get relief from the heat. It was very hot, so the elephant, big elephant, it was Gajendra, Gaja Indra, Indra, the lord of Gaja. Gaja is the elephant. So the lordly elephant, Gajendra, submerged himself into the water to get relief from heat. Then with his trunk, he drank his fill, the clear water of the lake, which was rendered fragrant with the pollen of the golden lotuses and lilies on it. Anyhow, she drank the water and then went into the lake and was cooling himself. Deluded by the Lord's Maya, he was unaware, like a pitiable and foolish family man, of the imminent danger lurking, as he bathed and fed the cows and the cubs with the water he drew in his trunk. So he didn't know any danger, so he sucked the water in his trunk and was feeding the cubs and other animals who followed him. O king, as providence would have it, he found all on a sudden that his foot was in the grip of an infuriated crocodile, stronger than himself. He was doing all these things like a lordly elephant, but he suddenly felt that his leg has been caught by a crocodile whose power is much stronger than that of the elephant itself. The powerful elephant tried as best as he could to release himself from its hold. As the exhausted elephant king was thus being pulled away by that strong crocodile, the cow elephants stood around crying loudly in distress. So their cubs are all, the big elephant is taken away, so they are helpless, so they cried out. While the males of the herd tried their best from behind to save him, but with no success. In that tug war from within and from without the water, the elephant and the crocodile spent 1,000 years with unimpeded strength. Their years are very, in Bhagavad and other areas you will find, they talk about 1,000 years, million years. And the fight went on. The crocodile and the elephant, they fought for 1,000 years. Anyhow, with full strength, to astonishment of the onlooking celestials, because other celestials were in different caves, they are seeing that there is a fight going on between the crocodile and the big elephant. Submerged in the water and pulled by the leg for such a long and protracted period, the lordly elephant became exhausted in body and weak in his mental resolution, while the contrary was the case with the crocodile, who was operating from his own watery home. Crocodile lives in the water, it is his home. So he is trying to fight with the elephant, and he is more stronger, and elephant become weaker. The lordly elephant, who identified himself with his huge body, now found himself weak and shut up from all chances of escape from that unforeseen danger. So he does not know how to get out of the crocodile, as if he is no other way to be rescued. As he thought deeply in that state of utter distress, there arose in him an awakening which made him resolve this. So in his mind there came a wonderful, noble thought. What is this? Verse number 32. These, the sorrowing friends of my species, are not able to release me. The cow elephant are still more helpless, though I am in the grip of this crocodile. The strange stranglehold of this destiny, I take shelter in him, the Lord and the refuge of even Brahma and others. So this elephant, one thought came in his mind, that I have no other rescue. All my other attendants, they have no power, they are weaker than me. So let me take refuge in God, the Lord. That idea came in the elephant, big elephant. He who gives shelter at all, who seeks refuge in him, for the fear of the powerful serpent death that is irresistibly encircling them, he for fear of whom even death operates on all, in him I seek refuge. So he said, I have no other way. And the big elephant said that I take refuge in him. Now this elephant, hymn of the lordly elephant. Now the lordly elephant is so powerful, now very weak, so he prayed to God. What he prayed? So this is the prayer which is the 3rd chapter, starts here. So we have no time, so we can start next day reading the 3rd chapter. So certain things are interesting, but we may not be able to enjoy this, relish all these details, but we get a historic idea how that time period, which types of environment they used to live, how they used to, history, from historical point we can look back, and how people were, whatever happens, they are God-centered. In the elephant body also they are God-centered. So that is the point. The bodies are different, but the soul is the same old soul. So, we'll read in the next day. We have ended 7.2. The last verse. 7 to 32. 33. 7 to 33 we end. And we'll start next reading 7.3.1. Next day. Not much interesting, only the Vedanta part is interesting. But those who are expert, they can explain it differently. And they will be making it very juicy. That's called Bhagavata Katha. The Gajendra, moksha. How Gajendra got moksha, liberated. While crocodile is a symbolic. You are so powerful in the world, but crocodile will catch you. The worldliness of crocodile, catching and then pulling, then fight. You fight your best, I am such big hand, and do, and then you ultimately fail. No one is around me, I am looking at it, who is to support me? No, all followers, when you are powerful, all chang bang will be around, what do you call, entourage will be around. Praising, ha 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 ha, you are so great, ha ha ha, you are so big, he is our boss, he is so powerful. No, he does not care for anything, he is splashing the water and destroying in the world as if he is the king of the world, okay? And ignorance, Maya catches the leg, And 10,000 years means life after life, life after life, life after life, it goes on. A philosophical meaning will be like this. Why 10,000 years? It has a significance. It is a sacred text. Why they are talking about elephant, Gajendra was fighting for 10,000 years. 10,000 years means not one life, Life after life, we are entangled into this world and worldliness with pride, haughtiness, and all our external attitudes. No, but we fail, and then when you fail, take refuge in God. That is the symbolic meaning as we can make out of this story. No, otherwise, only merely the story. They have not just fun time to tell stories, useless stories. They are scriptures. There is a deep meaning in it. So you want to get out of the world and worldliness, call upon God. Call upon the power which He can rescue us from ignorance, from Maya, from all bondage.
Sri Ramakrishna said, no, that crocodile, if you put that to money,
Yeah, that's the Sri Ramakrishna says. He used to sing that song. When you are in the water, crocodile will try. Crocodile of Maya, Shadoripu. All our weak points of the mind, weakness of the mind, our senses, etc. They will try to catch you. But don't yield to that. Smear your body with turmeric powder. That means vairagya, detachment. Put your body smearing with detachment, and with the smell of detachment, they will leave you. The world will be there, attractive world will be around, no? But that attraction can be overcome by the attraction of God. So detachment, you have to detach the lower attachment, and attach to the higher attachment. So those will be the philosophical side of thinking. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. So next class is at 7:30. We will be reading Sheta Sataro Upanishad. 7:30. Please join us.